Well, hey, all my fellow hair comrades, you see, Rick really is from Texas. Ha! Well, hey, listen, I have got a little situation today that I want us to talk about, and it's like I've tore up my system. I've ripped a piece off of it. I've got, what am I gonna do? Because now it's messed up. I gotta work around for that. So hang on, I'll be right back. Okay guys, so Rick here. Thanks for tuning into the channel. Let's get rid of the cowboy hat. So I have a hair system and it's not all that old. And when I put it on, didn't realize it at the time, but I got it just a little bit crooked, or here in Texas we would say cattywampus. Not sure where that came from. But I got some of the skin over into my bio hair. So when I'm removing it, when it's time to do that, I've got the C22, and it's been on there enough days that it's not, resisting. It's coming off pretty easily until it gets back to that part where my bio hair is, because that glue is in my hair. It was on the system, now it's in my hair, because I put the glue on the system itself, not on my head. And so I'm going, and it just stops, won't come off. So I get some C22 and I'm working with it, and I get some more C22 and I'm working with it. And so finally I think I've got it pretty good, and I just go, well, when I do, it rips it. I'll never learn my lesson. So to keep from having to just throw that whole thing away and waste that money, I decided, okay, there's a way to do this, and I've done it before. So I'm gonna go through it with you again, because I actually had a question about that. Someone else was kind of in the same boat. So here, it's pretty simple. Whenever you have your template and you cut your system the very first time to fit your bald spot, you use that template, you're cutting off a section of hair around the back and the sides, so the perimeter except for the front. And keep that, because you never know when you might have to do a transplant. And so that's what I've done with this system. Now here's what I do. I will this has a curve. You can see where I marked my template there. I'm going to cut that off. But this will have a curve, and so it will come. It's like right on this side in the back, right in there where it curves around the back. So I'm just going to make a patch, basically. And I'm going to glue this one on. Now to do that, understand it's got to go hair side down on top of your other system. So what do you do with all this hair underneath? Well, that's not really a problem either. What I'll do is I'm going to take the scissors and I'm just going to cut that hair off right at the front edge of that system, to where it just reveals nothing but the skin. There'll be a little bristle under there still probably, but that'll be all right. And so I cut that off. So I have just about 1/4 of an inch or so of bare skin to glue on top of the bare skin on this system. And then I'm going to pretty much lay it down and guess at how big the patch needs to be by laying it down. You can do that and curve that the way it was originally, and then just stick it to it. Now I found this. I use Walker Hard Bond to make this work. And I put just a bit right on the edge of the system where the rip was. And then I take the pattern, the patch that I have cut, and I lay it right down on top of that system. Right down on that edge. I've got it cut to fit. I've got free edge with hair, so that I'm covering that bald spot that it's gonna leave because of that. And I let it dry for a little bit. Then I put a piece of Scotch tape, a piece of medical tape, anything like that, before the bond's completely dry, and I just put it down on top of that glue. And it just makes it a little bit more durable to where it's actually going to stay put. Then, when I go to glue this system on my head the next time, I put Bond all over that Scotch tape. Just create a layer over that, thinly over that, and over the whole system, and it's worked. And I hate to say it's worked every time because that suggests I've done this more than once, but unfortunately I have. But it has worked. So I'm going to show you how that looks. It looks a little bit janky on the skin side, as you can see there where I've made that patch, right? Put that tape right on there, and then I've got all of this hair that's attached to that will come over and cover the bald spot that the patch left, or the bald spot left, the bald spot that the bald spot left. You know what I'm trying to say? And then I'll get a lot more use out of this, because when I take this off the next time, more than likely, this will stay intact. It has for me every time. And so I just clean it up carefully and get the glue off of the Scotch tape. But remember, there's glue between the Scotch tape and the skin underneath it. Now you may want to take that Scotch tape off and put a new piece of medical tape or something, and glue over it again, which will work as well. But the thing of it is, instead of just having to say, man, I got a nice system here that I have screwed up and I have ruined. So I'd like to say to you two guys that have sent out messages to me to say, Rick, of all things, my system wasn't but about 3 weeks old and I have this big old tear in it. Well, here's what you can do. And once this is on your head this way, there is absolutely no problem. You're not going to have to be careful combing it, brushing it, washing it, nothing. It'll be absolutely perfectly fine. So don't sweat it, don't stress it. There's an easy workaround for that rip or that tear. So guys, Rick here is getting back in the saddle, but this time with hair on his head under his hat. Yeah. I'm sorry. I know that was really corny. It is what it is. Guys, you have a good one.